You know, it's like everything. It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing. But we had no one that was, legal aspect that would go after him. They were afraid of him. For whatever reason, they were afraid of him.
Oh, that's just John McCain's wife talking about how a large swath of the political and media establishment knew that a monster was out there hurting children, and they decided to look the other way. Yeah. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Sukadowski of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely crazy news to get into. As of course, we're going to be doing something different in this video. As of course, we're going to give you the latest news, but also specifically give you exclusive on-the-ground reporting that we just did specifically in Washington, D.C. at a very big, exclusive, elitist, confab, secretive gathering that, of course, we did a full video report on yesterday. We did an entire long live stream. This is why I'm sunburned. And today, in this video, we will be showing you the exclusive conversations that we had with members of this very exclusive club and its larger implications. Some very interesting conversations, confrontations, and even talk about a global carbon tax. You're gonna be seeing that in just a little bit. But before playing that exclusive video content for you, the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is something that happened a while ago, but of course it's important to understand now in the larger context of the latest tweets published by Elon Musk on Twitter, specifically highlighting a meme showing that things that you will never see in real life. Highlighting, of course, fire-breathing dragons, dinosaurs, unicorns, and of course the Epstein-Maxwell client list, specifically saying, adding context to this meme by saying, quote, "Only thing more remarkable than DoJ, Department of Justice, not leaking the list is that no one in the media cares. Doesn't that seem odd?" A very important question by Elon Musk, directly digging an attack against the current political and media establishment that for over 30 years, while in power, allowed some of the most nefarious, disgusting behavior to happen to thousands of children, all under the watchful eye and protection of local law enforcement, federal police officers, the FBI, prosecutors, judges, politicians, media moguls, celebrities. All of these people knew what was going on. They knew that there was an island. They knew that some individuals like Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, and Bill Gates went to that island willingly, and there was also a lot of children that were forced to be on that island not willingly. And the point that Elon Musk makes here is that essentially Maxwell, that currently is in jail for allegedly providing a service that there's no customers to, since of course the U.S. government, when they went after Miss Maxwell, did not go after her long list of clients that did unspeakable things to children. The judge also protected the identities of many prominent and powerful individuals and also salacious details and facts surrounding this case, essentially classifying them away from the general public that they couldn't see. Now, the bigger question is, why is Elon Musk tweeting this right now? Is he trying to become more of a populist? Is he trying to get more support? Is he actually shocked about what's happening here, which everyone else should be here? Or is he just jabbing back against the very powerful in government that, of course, are also launching attacks against him? That's a question that I think is worth considering and asking here. But overall, Elon Musk bringing attention to this very important topic is something that is extremely important and, in my opinion, an absolute net positive. I can't say this enough, that Elon Musk is doing absolutely important work, especially when it comes to raising attention to this very specific issue, since of course the corporate media, the politicians, all don't care here and are trying to, of course, cover up this story, since many of them are involved in it. And whether they went to the island or not doesn't matter. Some are more involved than others. Some just, again, willingly turned a blind eye and said, hey, there's a bunch of small children getting hurt there. I'm just going to walk the other way. In related seeing small children being hurt and walking the other way news, we got a shocking video footage from CBS News that interviewed the brave mother that, in many people's opinions, is an absolute hero for actually going out during the latest terrible events in Texas and saving 2 of her children for a madman that the police, essentially, according to the latest information, were aiding and abetting. I know that's a sensationalistic comment, but with the overwhelming amount of evidence, I think it is a fair conclusion to say this now, as of course, the Uvalde Police Department has been lying through their teeth, and this mother's account of what happened on that day contradicts yet another statement made by the police there. This is video of her right there running away with her children, all as police officers stood by. This brave mother also details how the shots were going on far longer inside of that school comparatively to what the police officers told us, saying that shooting stopped when it didn't. Police officers also told us that there was officers outside of that specific classroom, and according to this brave's mother account, that's not the case at all, and there was no police officers. There was police officers literally stopping people, arresting parents, tasering them, handcuffing this woman, preventing her from saving her children. She, of course, was temporarily uncuffed. She ran away from the police. She ran inside of that school. She saved her children, and her children today and her actions going into that classroom speak volumes to the official story of what we're being told here, especially when it comes to some politicians who have this sociopathic belief that only the police should be the ones that have the tools to defend themselves. An absolutely incredulous, crazy idea, especially in the backdrop of all the evidence here. This video here by CBS News. Again, we're critical of the corporate media when they deserve to be criticized, but when they do good, like CBS News did here, they deserve praise, and they actually did a very important job here highlighting the truth of the situation, which sadly a lot of people are being denied the access to.
While you were inside the school, did you see officers
There was
inside
not
the
one
school?
officer inside the school when I
In
ran
the
to my
areas-
second son's class. There was not one officer.
And you were hearing gunshots, so you knew
You
that
could hear the
it was an
gunshots.
active shooter.
It was still active. The gunshots were still active. They were not in there. There was no one in there. If anything, when I pulled up, my car was closer to the school than where the snipers and everybody that was laying on the ground were.
And that to me is just absolutely just as crazy as it is heartbreaking, since of course overwhelmingly this loss of life didn't need to happen. Oh yeah, also I forgot to get into other Elon Musk news before getting into our exclusive coverage. It's also important to note today that we're getting information that Elon Musk might withdraw his bid from Twitter. We talked about this a few days ago, and now Elon Musk is publicly threatening to do so, as he says that Twitter is resisting and thwarting his right to details on how many fake accounts are on the platform. This is important because he is paying essentially for the users, the actual people there, not the bots, not the fake accounts that governments, corporations, and celebrities create in order to promote themselves or set an agenda or a narrative or a perspective. And in related people setting the agenda and narrative news, we of course just yesterday had the official elitist, globalist, confab meeting of 130 very influential people meeting in Washington, D.C., which of course we covered live for you on the ground here on this particular YouTube channel, highlighting the comings and goings of this very important organization, as of course even the current NATO Secretary General literally tweeted a photo of him talking to the Prime Minister of Finland about joining NATO at this meeting, a meeting that was very heavily focused on geopolitics, foreign policy, specifically with topics on discussion like Ukraine, as some people like Charlie Skelton have described this year's meeting as a, quote, council of war with participants from the head of NATO, the CIA, the U.S. National Security Council, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agents, the White House coordinator from the Indo-Pacific, and to have these major conversations happening with Goldman Sachs, Shell, BP, Pfizer, and other participants at this meeting should be raising some eyebrows for a lot of people. This year, this group has went out of their way so no one could find them. They announced this meeting as it was already happening, and it had to take investigative research in in order to find it, we did. We went there on the ground, and we damn made sure that we got into some very interesting conversations, which you will be seeing in just a little bit. We're going to be releasing a full exclusive report on this meeting in its entirety on LukeUncensored.com. That video should be out either later today or tomorrow. An exclusive on-the-ground report. Exclusive photos and videos will be shown on LukeUncensored.com. The confrontations will be played in just a second. But if you want to support us and also see the exclusive content, go to LukeUncensored.com. But without further ado, here are the confrontations, the conversations, and the discussions that we had with these members that I think are extremely telling, just as they are entertaining.
Hi, my name is Luke Radowski of WRC. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's really sunny. How was your guys' meeting and participation at this Mandarin Hotel? Yeah, very good. Did you guys have a good time? Get some interesting conversations? Who would you say was the most interesting person you talked to? Do you have any other comments about your time here? You guys are walking fast. You guys should slow down and enjoy the day. It's beautiful. It's a little exhausted. But, yeah, any kind of reactions? You guys are being very kind of tight-lipped about what's going on here. And we would love to have a conversation, and I could give you my ID card. But anything you guys want to say about your participation here to the general public? Because people are going to see this, and it's a red light. You don't want to walk on a red light. But do you guys have any kind of comments about your participation? The people are going to see this. They're going to be like, what were they doing? What was going on? We have some questions, and they're like, why is there so much secrecy? It doesn't have to be, if you just get some comments from the press. And I think it would be good overall to have some kind of, transparency, some kind of like, oh, hey, this is what's going on. This is our conversation.
There's a press release.
It's very
there's a
big.
lot on the press release related to Europe, for instance, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the most interesting?
That affects everyone in Europe. What came up with regard to Ukraine?
What was the most interesting thing talked about on the press release? Watch out, watch out, watch out. Stop. You're going to get... Come on, I could give you... I'm available for tour guides, too. I could give you guys a walk if you guys want. But be careful, Don't run onto the street. There's cars here. We have an American medical system. You got to be careful. If you go into the hospital, man, they're going to give you a big bill. But just any kind of transparency that, you guys could give us or comment, we would definitely appreciate. Maybe what was the most interesting thing on the agenda that you talked about? Anything else you could say, maybe? I think you guys could slow down, enjoy the day more. Hi, Mr. York Cookies. How you doing? My name is Luke Radowski of wearechange.org. I would love to ask you about maybe the future of Ukraine. I know...
Mr. Cookies, at the Bilderberg meeting this year, I have to go to the gate.
Can you tell us anything about the meeting?
It was on the topics list about disruption of the global economy, disruption of the
sorry, I
financial
really have to run
system.
to my airplane. I politely ask you to...
As former Goldman Sachs, can you say anything?
You gotta show your ticket.
Sorry. What about continuity of government and the economy?
People are going to have questions about what happened. Can you give them any kind of transparency, Ms. York? Hi, Ms. Connie. How you doing? My name is Luke Radowski of wearechange.org. We had a lovely conversation in Switzerland before. Good to see you again. Good to see you as well.
Okay, nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys. Hope you guys had a good time in Washington. We can walk. Don't worry about it. In Washington, D.C. How was your time here, if you don't mind me asking?
Excellent. Really interesting. Thank you.
Have
a nice day.
You're both very environmentally conscious women and public officials. How is Bilderberg this year balancing...
It was good we were there,
But there was a topic that seemed perfect for you. Sustainability versus energy security.
So we were voicing exactly kind of the issues.
What do you think about some of the biggest polluters being a part of that meeting? Was that a topic of discussion?
They're the ones that need to change. So I think it's good that we are having the conversation. So
And what was the most interesting conversation you had there? you think, or like the most eye-opening thing that you found out about it?
We're not. We are leaving. So
If you have pre, you could go in here. If not, there you could.
I don't know if you have TSA P-check. It's more of an American thing.
Yeah, that's more of an American thing that they have here.
More of a niche American travel thing.
But is there
What
anything?
about sustainability? What more came up about sustainability?
A lot of people will be wondering what was going on. Is there any kind of statement that could be provided for any transparency?
I don't know. I think it's important that we meet and have these conversations.
Was
and,
there?
Those of us who agree on rapid climate action and those who are maybe more hesitant. So I think it's important that we meet.
Was there a consensus?
Yeah, about what percentage of Bilderberg agrees on rapid climate action?
And was there like a great reset that they kind of talked about?
Didn't hear any of that.
Any future talks about carbon credits for everybody? Calculating their carbon input? I know that was a
I
topic
think
of
that at least I personally support that.
so everyone gets their carbon calculated. But wouldn't that mean
No, I support that we get a carbon tax, and I think
Carbon
it
tax.
How
would be
would
a
you
good way.
balance that with Europe's current energy security concerns?
I think this will speed up the transition to green energy. So now we're going to get out of gas and into renewables, and I support that wholeheartedly. And I'm very proud of. We're going to build 140 gigawatts of clean energy in the North Sea, and that's one of the things I've been pushing for. So.
is that what you are talking about at Bilderberg?
Thank you very much.
Andreas and Beata, hi. My name is Luke Radowski of wearechange.org. Hope you guys had fun in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your trip, what you guys did.
We're going back to Vienna now.
Did you guys have a...
Mr. Tranquil, what about the
Sorry.
disruptions to the...
Go ahead. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Entries that way. Any comment about your participation, Beata?
Interesting.
Did you have fun, or was it a lot of work?
It's interesting talks, and it's a very constructive discussion about a very difficult situation right now.
Of course.
Ukraine,
Yeah.
inflation, climate change.
Are you hopeful or not hopeful?
Are you hopeful?
I am. Are you?
I think
It's a private meeting.
we have to be determined.
Okay, well, don't get shown. Have a nice flight.
All right, guys, that was it. Hope you found it enjoyable and entertaining to watch. If you did, share this video with your friends and family members. I loved being there on the ground. I love doing on-the-ground reporting. I wanted to do more of it, and if you want to support that, you can on wearechange.org/donate. We got one more video coming your way later on today on LukeUncensored.com. Hope to see you guys there. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Atlas wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.